Welcome to KIllco. My name is Brian, and we are celebrating tonight with peated scotches. Why? It's a thing. People do it for the Robert Burns night day thing that's coming up on Monday, is it? And due to that, I'm going to recite one of his little poems in a bad accent because why not? This one's called My Love is Like a Red, Red Rose. And I'm going to do an accent that's going to probably drift in between Scottish and Irish because I can't really, I don't know. They mesh together. So, here we go. Oh, let's see if I can do this on the right screen. There we go. Now it's like I'm almost looking at the camera. Oh, my love is like a red, red rose that's newly sprung in June. Oh, my love is like the melody that's sweetly played in tune. As fair art thou, my bonny lass, so deep in love am I, and I will love thee still, my dear, till all the sea gone dry. Till all the sea gone dry, my dear, and the rocks melt wi' the sun. And I will love thee still, my dear, while the sands of life shall run. And fare thee weel, my only love, and fare thee weel a while, and I will come again, my love, though 'twere 10,000 mile. Yay. Poetry. It's a thing. God, that accent felt awful. Right. To the evening. Now, Robert Burns Day is something I know like this much about. I know it's something that happens once a year. It's on his birthday. Has something to do with haggis, which is an interesting delicacy, we'll say. I've never had it, so I can't really be objective. And I know there's scotch involved, and I know there's food involved, and it's a whole big thing. So the only thing I could think of is, well, let's have some peated scotch. And I just remembered something. When you do this, you're supposed to let people know on all the social medias. And I did that yesterday, but I didn't do that today. So I have to do that now. It's just going to be annoying to me. Whatever. What's most annoying is actually looking at my own YouTube channel going like, oh yeah, there's a stream, it's showing live. I don't even remember what video I used. Video? Picture. The best part is that I did the song and dance thing already, so if anyone missed that, too bad. You have to watch it all from the beginning. Here we go. Then I will show the scotches that I have. There will be many. Oh gosh. For a second I was like, oh god, someone's gonna hear something. Oh, there's the delay. Hello, Trev. There you are. Thank you. I have not wanted to go to get a haircut in a year, so I was overdue, and I finally went. I'm drinking your favorite stuff tonight. I know how much you love peated scotch. Love it. You love it. Oh, man, that's so weird. Watching my own stream go live freaks me out. Yeah, I've needed a haircut for a year, but COVID kind of slowed that process down. I finally went to one. Not too bad. It was expensive. That's the only problem. I didn't have them do my mustache, which I wanted, but oh well. JJ, hello, welcome. Yes, it was I went to a like professional barber, kind of place. It had leather sofas and that kind of thing. But I did not feel comfortable taking my mask off, so until things get a little less crazy, I'll have to do my own mustache, unfortunately. Okay, first on the list. There are 5 of these. If you looked on my Instagram, there are only 4, but there's an added one that I didn't show because it's a sample glass. Tonight, we have Black Bottles number 1, because this is one I haven't drank much of, for one thing. I think it's up to here. I haven't touched most of these scotches. Parndor, welcome. Because I don't know why. I haven't really felt the need for peated scotches lately, I guess. Bourbons have been my comfort drink, I think. I have to remember to pour only a little because we're sampling. This one people can get usually fairly easily, I think. It's a blend. 43%. I don't even know who makes it. But it's actually a black bottle. I think originally it was a different color. And they still call it black bottle. That's number one. Ding. Number two. One of my favorites, actually. Highland Park 12. And again, this is one bottle where I feel like I need to finish it soon because it's been at this level for far too long. Look at that. I should finish this tonight, except I'd be plastered probably. Because again, I have 5 of these at the moment. I don't know where to put them either. Clang. Sorry. Next. I tried to get some of these that were easy to get if anyone wants to ask a question of what's that, where can you get it? Is it available? I try to have a few of these at least be slightly available. Highland Park 12 is certainly something people should be able to get. I hope easily. I don't know. Different places, different things. Number 3. Which one do I want number 3 to be? Number 3 will be Lafroig. And again, this is a bottle that needs to die soon. There was a mystery with this bottle. However, when I got it out of the tube, it looked kind of like that. And I don't know why. It was still closed, but it was a bit weird. This is going to be a killer. Killer and KIllco. That makes sense. Just a little. Again, if I have to drink all of these, I'm going to be inebriated, which is both fun and also not fun. Oof, I smelled that one. I think I spilled a little. I did. Number 4 is from the Stanley Wagner Jr. Or the Mash. Should I just call him Mash Bill now? He's on the Instagram. He's got his own thing going on. So I'm going to pour all of this. And this is the Lagavulin 16. Oh, it focused. 86 proof. I've had it, I think, but I'm not sure. No, I have. I have had a sample of it, but it was... The seal of this one was broken a while ago. Like probably over a year. But I don't know how it got pushed out like that because I didn't do it. I usually put them back on the top. But yeah, that was a little weird. So yes, it was opened already. And I don't know why it moved the cork. I feel like there's probably some evaporation kind of thing going on and the cork's not tight enough. But I don't know. Could be ghosts trying to steal my whiskey. Oof. I got some of it in my hand. I can smell it. This will go in my Aquavite glass. If you don't know who Aquavite is, well, you can look him up on YouTube. He does stuff like this, except much better. Oh, man. Keep forgetting how big these sample things are. I have a different song stuck in my head, if anyone's wondering. It's from a musical called Rent. I've already forgotten what the name of the song is. Seasons of Love? Seasons of Love. 525,600 minutes. That popped in my head a couple days ago. And it's just been sitting in there ever since for no reason at all. 5,2,500. It's both wonderful and terrible to be in there. Number 5, because I thought 5 was a good idea. No, I didn't. I thought 4 was a good idea. Then I remembered I had the Lagavulin sample, so now it's 5. This one, Oogdal, as Rex likes to say in the Whiskey Vault. Oogdal, or Oogie, for short. I have quite a bit of this left, thankfully. I bought this well over a year ago. This one is also the highest proof. I think all of these, the first 4 are all 43%. 86 proof, yes. So 43% for all of these. Hold on. Yeah. Getting a little paranoid and picking up bottles and holding them over the glasses, thinking I'm going to drop them. Glorious stuff. I think everything's 43%. Yeah. Everything except the Ardbeg Ugadal, which is freaking much higher proof. 54.2. That's why I put it last. Because it's going to obliterate my brain with the alcohol. Only a little. I'm still not used to doing this. Yes, Ardbeg is the good stuff. I even have the box of it. Oh, gosh. I also did something to my neck. I'm starting to feel older now. I don't know what I did. I think I moved my arm really quickly when getting out of bed. after a nap, and now I have this ache and pain that's been with me for over a day now in my shoulder neck area. I don't approve. I don't like it. I want it to go away. It will go away. For those of you who missed it, however, I just did a poem by the great, what's his name? What is his name? Robert Burns. My Love Is Like a Red, Red Rose, if you want to go back and watch that later. I don't want to do it again because I only did it in a horrible Scottish accent. / whatever you want to call that accent. Oh. That's something else I'll do. I didn't cap these. Oh my gosh. Something else I'll hopefully do. Damn it. I forgot to think this through. I have 4 caps with me, and I have a 5th. But the 5th one I carry in my wallet. Which means I have to get up. Oh, means you have to drink. Means you have to drink if I get up, right? I think that's the rule. Hang on. God, this chair doesn't like me. Here we go. We're back. Nothing more exciting than starting a stream off with you just staring at a chair. Ugh. Here's my wallet. But the important part is because in case I do bump into someone from the Whiskey Vault / tribe, I have to have this in my wallet at all times. And that's my 5th. I do have 2 more sitting on my shoulder. Right there-ish. And those are from Aquavitae. But they're decorative at the moment. I haven't bothered to take them down and do much with them. All right. It's only taken me 12 minutes to set this whole thing up, but we're good. Oh, I don't even know how to start. There was part of me that was afraid about eating something before this. I had like hot dogs. You know, that's as close as I can get to haggis, I suppose, in America at the moment. It's a hot dog. You don't know what's in it. It could be anything. It's kind of gross, but it's fine. We eat them. It's fine. It's fine. So I'm about to blow up my palate. I'm probably going to have something else later. I'm going to have to stick with Peter Scotch tonight because nothing else is going to come through after I do this. It's all over. I feel like I poured a little too much in some of these, but it's okay. Starting with Black Bottle. I'm going to pull up the notes on these too. Huh. I get a little confused with some of these sometimes. This is a blended Scotch whiskey. I know it's got some peat to it, but I'm not really smelling much. Granted, I don't have much in there. Actually smells fruity. And that's something I've done that's weirded me out with some peated scotches. I don't know if I can just skip the peat somehow, but when I smell some of these, I get fruit notes. It weirds me out. Smells good. Hi, Mom. Thank you. I assume you meant haircut. Ooh. All right, let's see what this thing says about Black Bottle, because I know what I think. And I feel like I've reviewed Black Bottle, but I'm really not sure, because if I did, it's quite a while ago. I'm just getting these nice fruity notes off of it, and it's kind of weird. There's a little bit of peat to it, but not much. I want to smell these first, and then I'll go back for the taste, because right now I'm just going to obliterate everything. Number 2, the Highland Park 12, which, again, this needs to be emptied. I've had it for far too long as it is. Song's still stuck in my head. Wow, okay. That's definitely different. Oh, this one has a funk to it. Word funk should appear right there. It doesn't, but it'd be nice if it did. Okay, it's toned down a little now, but there's that weird kind of... The only way I can describe it easily is it's like walking into an old cellar, like a basement. Doesn't smell good. It smells a little moldy. Or the other one I've used for it is like wet laundry kind of thing. It's not a pleasant thing to think about when you're drinking something, but not terrible. At least I have a reference point. But there is something sweet and kind of fruity to it. But there is something different in front of it, if that makes any sense. Probably doesn't, but that's fine. I feel like I have to do this, and then I can get back into it. Mom, they are, but a lot of people can't get past the peat. Usually people just smell the peated stuff and the smoke and the brine. But for me, whatever reason, I get these. I know there's peat there, but I tend to stick to the fruit notes. Although when I first smelled this, it was definitely a whole different thing. Stick your nose in it for a minute and you get a little used to it. It's like getting into cold water, I guess. At first, it's just, oh God, cold. And then, like, okay. This isn't as bad as I thought. A lot of it has to do with the taste. Because this stuff just obliterates the palate as far as I can understand it. Obliterates, I tell you. Number 3. What is number 3? I forget. Number 3 is Lefroy, isn't it? Yes, it is. They all smell different. This is freaking me out. I thought they were all going to seem very much the same. God damn it, this thing's moving down. I don't like it. There we go. So Lefroy 10. Just Lefroy 10. This one smells more like charcoal, oddly enough. Yeah, like a charcoal grill. That makes sense. I know some of you like the brisket and the beef and the cooking outdoors and such. This one's giving me a charcoal grill kind of thing. As far as and there is a little sweetness to it, but again, it's layered. At least it seems layered to me. It's the best way to put that. Wow. It's not bad, but it is more aggressive than the other two I just did here. That song's gonna be stuck in my head all night. It's been stuck in here for days, so it's okay. Number 4 is one I'm really not sure what I'm going to smell, because I'm fairly certain well over a year ago I went to a tasting and it was a bunch of different Lefroys, but there was a Lagavulin 16 slipped in the mix without anyone's knowledge because it was a blind. And I think it was we were lucky enough to go through a bunch of the Lefroy Cardeas releases. I'm not sure how many it was. It must have been 4 or 5 at least. But one of them was the Lagavulin 16. So I don't remember what I thought about it, because that was a while ago. That was almost 2 years ago, I think. And you'll notice this is the one with the hefty pour, because it was a sample. Oh. This one's friendly and fruity with a little bit of peat to it, but it's reminding me more of the Highland Park 12, except the Highland Park had this weird, I don't want to call it, yeah, I guess, kind of like a gasoline smell almost, or something abrasive about it at first. This is just sweet and a little bit of peaty. It's a peat pillow is what it is. That's why it's so popular, I think. It's got good branding. And again, I have to keep in mind that there's a lot more in here. That might be why it smelled a little more. That's maybe why it smells nicer. It smells really good. Which is bad. It smells good, which is bad, because Lagavulin 16 is probably well over $80 right now. It's gotten very popular over the years. Ooh. What is this reminding me of? This is kind of reminding me of some kind of candy, but I don't know what. I had the flash of, just now I had the, have you ever had those root beer candies? They're like hard candies. They look like little root beer barrels. I'm reminded of that for some reason. It's a little strange. It is a good color. And again, I get distracted by holding it up to the camera and then holding it up to like dark or white. It changes. It's glorious, though. It is a good color for a Scotch. This is almost the color of what I think a bourbon could be. But since it's 16 years, it's got the time in the barrel, as they say. Actually, they wouldn't say it like that in Scotland. They wouldn't say it in a Texan accent or Southern accent. I had the time in the barrel. I'm in Scotland. Who are you? I'm just from Texas. People who are unaware, if you have a barrel of whiskey in Texas, it takes less than a year for it to get that color or darker. Because heat. That's the thing. Last one. Ardbeg Ugdal. This is the one with the highest proof. So we'll see what happens here. Oh, ooh. I got fruit up front, and then I got that weird kind of, it wasn't a funk. It was, oh, this one's a little weird. In a good way. That makes sense. I thought grapes for a second, but that was bizarre. Maybe I was thinking of some kind of, hang on. I'm trying to remember what the Ugdal is about. A boot? I've forgotten. It's been so long since I've had it. Blah, 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 blah. Treacle Bacon Bonfire, it says on here. Treacle Bacon Bonfire. Raisiny notes. Of the old ex-sherry casks. Ha! I thought it was weird that I thought of grapes. But I wasn't wrong. There's not as much as a musty note on this one, actually, Ma. It's got more fruit notes, which is nice. I mean, a lot of these do have some kind of fruit thing, but this one was clearly finished in some kind of sherry. What did it say? Sherry? Sherry something? Words? Ex-sherry casks. So it's a little fruitier than the other ones, and it made me think of grapes initially, which is glorious. And what's surprising is I know this is 50-something odd %. This is the highest proof, but it doesn't smell like it. It smells just like the other ones, which are all 43. The weird part is they all do smell different, only to varying degrees. Like the Lefroy stood out as kind of an aggressive peaty smell, while the other ones were more subdued and less intense. And it seemed like there was a more salty kind of note, or like a brine coming from the Lefroy. But again, this is just a Lefroy 10, so I shouldn't say just the Lefroy 10. But it is the one I was worried about as far as how it's going to affect my tastes. But whatever. Back to the tasting part now. We've smelled them. They smell wonderful. And I just wanted to drink them all. My mouth is kind of, oddly enough, I'm salivating just from smelling peated Scotch. But I think that's because in my brain, the smoky peatiness is often something I equate with smoked meats as well. Like if you've ever had a good brisket or something like that, or the burnt ends of certain things, my brain goes to that place and suddenly I want to eat a steak. Or have a really good burger. Or maybe even have some bacon. You ever had bacon that's very, well, I don't want to say burnt bacon. That's usually bad, but you get those char things off of it sometimes. Here we go. We're going to the black bottle first, which is very, hopefully easily defined bottle if you want to find something that's Scotch and that's at least a little peated. And this one still smells fruity to me. It's reminding me of something else, but I don't know what. Oh, it's going to bug me. Funny enough, it's reminding me of an Irish whiskey. That's weird. Oh, it's making me think of Connemara, probably. That's probably what it's doing, because it's a very kind of subdued peatiness. It's not as aggressive as the other ones. And Connemara, being one of my favorite Irish peated scotches, one of the only ones I know about, is very good, and I like. So that's where that memory went, thankfully. At least I pulled that one out. Tasty time. Yeah. Wow, Burns going down. Initial thought, this reminds me of tasting a penny. Why specifically a penny? Don't know. When was the last time I tried tasting a penny? Also don't know. But for whatever reason, I relate to that. Okay. Not too bad. Not too tingly either. Not too spicy. Pretty mild, really. Which is why it's one of the cheaper bottles I can get. Do the research, so to speak. See what it says here. This is just like the unedited kind of sampling. And usually I don't compare them back to back. I might do that. Undecided. Ugh. I have to admit, this is getting bothersome. All right. So hopefully, I'm looking this up mostly just to give some notes and some price range. The average price for US dollars, so it says on my little app here, which should be able to be found below. I forget. And I don't have the thing running because I don't know what I'm doing. Hey, there we go. Is $24.92. So we'll round that up to $25. That's not bad if you want to try a peated Scotch blend. That's actually a decent price, especially with the price of the Scotch going up. Even when I went to the liquor store earlier in the week, I think it was Tuesday, whatever. They had one of my favorites there, one of my old favorites, Johnny Walker Black. And I considered getting it, but it was $30-something for it. And I went, what? Why? Why has the price gone up? It was less than $30 last time I remember getting it, but that was well over 2 years ago. And there's some nonsense going on out there with tariffs, which is annoying, but it's how it is at the moment. Right. Nose/profile/community notes. I just go with the official overview because community notes are usually meh, but there are some here. I'm undecided. For black bottle, it's going along the lines I was going with. Fresh fruit, peaty, oak, and smoky as the nose profile. The flavor profile for this says honey, smoky, oak, peaty, and caramel. I don't know if I get caramel from this. It's more of a bourbon thing for me. And the finish profile, smoky, oak, caramel, and leathery. I would agree with the leathery. I got a weird thing going on my tongue here. Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, I don't, It tastes like a penny. When was the last time you put a penny in your mouth? I don't know, but it's in there somewhere from long ago. Oddly enough, I have an idea of what money smells like. I think this is because I used to have to deal with being a cashier, like the smell of paper money on your hands and actually the smell of coins just going through your fingers kind of thing. I don't know why I have that memory, but it's a weird metallic coppery thing shoved into my brain somewhere for later use. I'm looking at the color of this too. It's gonna be hard to tell because I only poured a little bit in the glass, but it's a decent color for what it is. This is the black bottle. It's not bad. Official notes are a lot like the community notes. Slight honey sweetness followed by delightful smoky flavor. It's a simple smoky peated thing. Not bad. But it's not one I usually pour. I think the usual, if you can, just by looking at the bottles here, we'll do it that way. The one I tended to pour the most is clearly the Highland Park 12, which I think is the next one. You got to keep me on the speed on this because I can easily forget what I'm talking about. Number 2, I think, is Highland Park. I think. Oh yeah, it is. This one has. What is that? God dang it! This is one of those moments where you're like, what do you smell? Tell me what you smell. Doesn't work that way, Brian. I know. If only it did. This is one of the experience. The one thing that I miss about the whiskey experience is that people could go to a place like a bar or a pub or whatever. You could all get the same thing, and then you could all just sit around thinking about it. Be like, well, what do you smell? What do you taste? And I miss that part of this. I'm happy to drink a whole bunch of Scotch whiskey or bourbons or whatever by myself, but it's that shared experience that's hard to do because I cannot figure out what the smell I'm getting off of this is. It's sharp. And I don't know what it is. It's almost metallic. It's kind of... How do I put this? Use your words. Where's the vocabulary? And I will do. You know, hold on. It's coming to me now. It's coming to me. I think it's probably the one people would call medicinal, because I'm thinking of stuff like a hospital or cough syrup, that weird kind of metallic tang is the best way I can put it, where it's just this, you don't like it. When you smell it, you don't like it. But it's almost the same kind of thing that happens with a smell we're all very familiar with right now. It's using hand sanitizer. You put that stuff on your hands, and all of a sudden your hands smell this weird kind of, Usually that's just the alcohol, I think. But I know alcohol is used a lot in disinfectants and hospitals and that kind of thing. So I'm just saying medicinal because I also get that in weird like cough syrup. Not coffee syrup, cough syrup. Or the other one I sometimes get is, and this is not something you want to say about anything you're about to imbibe, but rotting fruit or fermenting fruit is probably a nice way to put it. Because it makes your nose do that. It kind of scrunches up a bit. That's surprising, and I have a feeling that's because because Highland Park is something I usually enjoy, and I don't remember smelling anything like this, but it's also been in the bottle at like that amount, so it's been exposed to all this air for all this time. So maybe there's been some evaporation, maybe there's been some weirdness. I don't know. All in all, I like the smell of it though, except for that weird tang thing, medicinal thing. Oh, the taste is so much better. Ow, it burns. Yeah. Yeah, there are more fruit notes on this, thankfully. The black bottle is kind of one and done. It's like, I'm a Scotch. I'm peated. Goodbye. This one at least has a little bit of pepperiness to it, a little bit of fruit to it. The smell and the taste don't match up as thankfully, because the smell is kind of weirding me out for whatever reason. But it certainly makes me curious about it. It's like, what the heck is that smell? And I can't get it. And I just take a sip. It is pretty quick, though. And on the second sip, it's a little less peppery and less aggressive. I can barely tell there's any peat in it, actually. Barely. This is one of the ones that isn't actually an Isla, I don't think. Maybe that's why it's so, I don't want to say subtle, but less aggressive, because this next one's going to be super aggressive, I think. This is the one that's going to be like licking a charcoal brick kind of deal. Again, I think. I'm hyping myself up for it because I know what Lafroig is like. All right. Lafroig, here we go. Let the smell again. Whoa. Yep, this one has a pretty strict medicinal note as well, but nothing like that one. This one is more this one's definitely more like a hospital. Like you go into a hospital and you have the smell of hospital where it's just disinfectant and medicinal weirdness everywhere. Oh, that's bizarre. And I think the one that stands out here is this brininess, I guess. I'm thinking about the beach or seaweed in particular. I'm thinking about if you go to the beach and there's like seaweed all across the coast, you just have that weird kind of smell. It's a mix of a weird kind of decay and vegetable and salt and smells delicious. No, it does not smell delicious. What is that? I want to say the word petrol, but I'm not even sure what that means. I think it's just gasoline. So maybe I'm being reminded of gasoline as well. Whew. This is definitely the one that where people will just be like, what is that? Oh, God. This is the most peat and aggressive forward thing. I think the ones that have been said before by Daniel on the Whiskey Vault is mermaid's bathwater or a walrus smoking a cigar. Those are two that have been pretty common. I think they even use that in their advertisement for some reason. Whew. Yeah, it doesn't go away. But we have to sip it because we said we would. Yeah. There we go. I don't know if you heard that, but I did. That's weird. Whoa. Whoa. Oh, yeah. That one is much more peated Scotch aggressiveness. The initial hit of it was very, oh, gosh. There is salt. There is definitive charcoal and, oh, why? Whoa, whoa. Not terrible, but it's fighting you. It's fighting me anyway. And there's the burn. Whoa. Ow. Gosh dang. Yeah, definitely charcoal. Definitely, well, it's ashy too. Like at the finish, apparently it's got this weird ash note. My mouth feels dry now too. Ugh. And again, this is Lefroy that's been sitting at, less than half for quite a while, as you can see. So some things might have happened to it. Some bizarre things might have occurred. But yeah, my mouth is all dry and yeah. Yeah, is the only way I can put it. Oh, Lefroy is a beast. The thing is, Lefroy and Ardbeg are something that I put on the same kind of level. The first two compared to that were easy. This third one was like, hi, I'm Lefroy. Enjoy your pizza. How are you down there? Oddly enough, I'm thinking of, I'm taking a minute. I'm thinking of burnt marshmallow and graham crackers, which is strange because I don't remember tasting that. But that's the memory that's kind of come into my brain after having that sip. And it's probably just because of the burnt charcoal on the marshmallow specifically. I can't really tell much sweetness. The rest of it was kind of obliterated by the initial peat rush, we'll say. Now, we're on to number 4. You have to help me keep track because I could easily lose track. Number 4 is Lagavulin 16, which I actually haven't had in quite a long time, as I said earlier. And hopefully it'll be good because it's expensive enough to be good, I'd like to think. But remember, price does not equal value, or price does not equal quality. That's what I mean. It should, but it doesn't. In the case of Ardbeg Ugdal, I would say the price is worth it. But again, I have to refresh my memory, which we will do at the end here. We are on to the peated Scotch. I want to double check something, actually. Since I worry about Streamlabs these days, just in case, I want to make sure I have chat up. Okay, good. I feel like I've missed something, that's all. But it looks like I haven't. So, number 4, Lagavulin, with the who's the actor who likes this stuff a lot? I forget his name all the time. Whiskey Central likes him. He's got a mustache kind of like mine, or at least he used to. God dang it! This is why I can't remember things. Nick Offerman? Must check. Must know things. Yes, it's him. Oh, good. Man, he's got a better mustache than I do. His doesn't curl, though. Nick Hoffman. Thank you, Gary. There's probably a delay there. But yes, he likes the Lagavulin. He has his own brand of Lagavulin. I think it's the Lagavulin 11? 12? 11? 12? I don't remember. I've never had that one. I've seen it. Never bought it. Whoa. Okay. I'm going to have that penny note stuck in my head for the rest of the night, aren't I? Apparently I am. And for whatever reason, this one's getting iodine, which is probably a word I could have used earlier on some of these. It might have been that medicinal thing. I'm not even sure what iodine smells like, to be honest. I don't remember the last time I was around iodine, but I equate that with hospitals and medicine. So I'm getting something like that off of this, with some fruitiness behind it. It's mostly fruit. It's not peat. Like Lefroy was just kind of straight up peat and a little bit more. This one is much more. This one's actually reminding me of one of my favorites, which isn't even. I don't even think it's a Isla, which is Oban 14. I think it's Oban 14. So let's check, shall we? Let's shall, because my brain. I'm hoping some of this whiskey ends the discomfort I'm having in my shoulder. As I said, I feel like I'm showing my age suddenly because I did something while I was taking a nap. Now I have this uncomfortable ache going through here and into my shoulder region. And pushing on it like that doesn't help at all. Wow, hi. Tell me things, Whizzky App. Highland, yes. Oban 14 is a Highland. This is technically it's Isla. That was nice. That's what I want to say for all my reviews. Like, it smells nice. I like it. Let me have some. Oh, okay. Ooh. Oh, wow. Ugh. I don't know if it's because of the Lefroy I just had, but I noticed a lot more peated notes. And what is that? I'm getting more of that burnt end / charcoal note off of it, which I didn't expect. I expected to get all of that from the Lefroy, which I think I did. And now it's transferred over to the Lagavulin. I don't know if I had water in between those, which might explain that. We'll see. It isn't what I expected, though. I should point out this is a sample, so this might have been a bottle that was open for a while. I don't know anything about the bottle. I just know it was told that it was Lagavulin 16. Whoa. All right, try that again. I still taste it, though. I took a sip of water, did nothing. Or almost nothing. Oh. Again, I'm thinking of charcoal. I thought of burnt onions or charred onions. That was weird. There's no onion smell off this, clearly, but I'm getting these weird memories and flashes. I'm thinking of like a burger, like a real hard charred burger. Huh. And it's got this weird finish that just dries out my tongue completely. That's almost a good thing because I'm thinking maybe I don't like Lagavulin 16 as much as I thought. I like Oban 14 because that's got these sweet notes to it. This one's more aggressively peaty. At least a little bit. This would go real good with the steak, I think is what I want to say. Because it would complement it probably. And that's the last time I had a Oban 14. I think I had it with the steak and it was glorious. But this Lagavulin thing is weirding me out. It's not what I expected. I thought it to be more. I thought it would be more like Oban 14, but it's not. It's more like on the level of Lefroy at the moment, which is surprising. I didn't expect that. I don't know if I like that or dislike that because it's on that line of being too peaty, where it's just distracting. It's hard to just do anything after that. But I don't know. It's definitely done something to my whole entire mouth, though. I'll give it that. Much like the Lefroy did, but this seems like it's more intense. And that might just be because there's more of it. But I don't know. I didn't really drink that much of it. So, On to what I hope is going to be my favorite. The Ardbeg Ugadal. Ugadal, as Rex would put it. But this is also the one that is 50th of tiny letters. Numbers, actually. And they're gray. 54.2. That's going to be a mess. And this was finished in ex-sherry casks, apparently. So that's why I got that weird grape smell from it. Initially, it seems. Oh, yeah. Definitely fruitier on the smell. Fruitier! I tell you. I didn't sip my water. I picked it up and didn't sip it. Oh, that's better. Kind of. Habada. One thing with peated scotches is you're going to have a hard time trying to line them up and drink them different because palate gets annihilated. All right. Smells fruitier, still has that weird twang that I can't quite figure out what that is yet. I've been calling it, I called it a number of things. Although, when I looked at the bottle, I think it said raisins on there. I would agree with that now. And I don't particularly like raisins, which is not a good thing. But to tell you what the bottle says it says Treacle Bacon Bonfires. Officially. Right there in tiny print. I don't quite remember what treacle is. I know what bacon and bonfires are, though. There we go. Smell seems fruity with a little bit of peat. Nothing too aggressive. But there's that, whatever that is, that I can't quite figure out. Waiting for it. Hold on. Yeah, that's good. Granted, we have to keep in mind I also really like higher proof stuff. I felt the burn a little just now, but that took a minute. This is a softer peat. It's more like a peat blanket than a peat fire, I guess is one way to put it. It still dries out my tongue. It's a little prickly and spicy on my tongue right now, or before. It's less now. Now it's just that dry kind of mild ashiness. Not too bad. Much more agreeable for my palate, I think, is the Ardbeg Ugadal. But that one's also expensive. I'm going to check and see what that's at right now for as long as I'm thinking about it. I don't remember how much I paid for it, but I know it was a fair amount. Yes, treacle syrup, I would assume, because it is a little sweet, but only at the start. Okay. Yeah. Apparently, supposedly, you can get a bottle of Ardbeg Ugadal for $73.93, which just means 75-ish. Probably more now, but I'm not sure. It's got a lot of notes here. Wow. Hello. Ugh. Wow. Okay, I'm going to have to say all of this because it looks intense. And it'll make me sound much more professional, even though I'm not a professional at all. So this was the official notes. I'm not going off the community notes here because they're kind of bland. All the one that says salt, which I guess I can agree with, but that's on the taste. Oh, taste it again. But for this write-up here is intense. The official nose, rich and weighty with heady and smoky aromatics. At full strength, the initial aroma is a beguiling mix of warm Christmas cake, walnut oil, and Parma violets fused with fresh ocean spices, cedar and pine needles falling from a Christmas tree. What? A smoldering coal fire. Oh, I was talking about that earlier. And the scent of well-oiled leather brings warmth. The sweetness of treacle toffees and chocolate-coated raisins emerge through the smoke. With water, the deep smokiness increases in intensity, reminiscent of a fried Christmas pudding. Rich flowering curds and warm baked banana and walnut bread are served with simmering mocha espresso. I wish I could get half of that out of this thing. I wouldn't say anything Christmassy about this. Now I'm going to see if I can get pine out of it. I don't know. I can convince myself now after I read that. I don't know what Parma violets smell like. Pine needles, Christmas tree, smoldering coal fire I can agree with, but a smoldering coal fire is what Lafroig reminded me of, not this. All right. Since I read that, I have to read the rest. It's all just as glorious, I hope. The official taste of the Ardbeg Oogdal. I have to say it like that every time. Full flavored and rich with a deep mouth-coating texture, the taste is an intriguing balance between sweet, spicy, and deep smoky flavors. The flavor is initially sweet, a burst of winter spices sets off a smoky, spicy explosion, countered by a scrumptious mid-palate of honey-glazed smoked food and chewy treacle. I'm saying a lot. Waves of deep smoky tones and rich aromas build up the palate like a fine Montesiro cigar. Montesiro? Shiro? I don't know how to say that. Isn't it? That's crazy. It's like someone wrote a story about it. That's what I get when I see this stuff. The official finish, amazingly long and chewy with lingering raisins, deep mocha tones, and rich aromatic smokes into the perfectly... Wait, I read that wrong. Deep mocha tones and rich aromatics smoke into the perfectly integrated finish. I feel like that's borderline what the SMWS, Scotch Malt Whisky Society, with their bottles, like these weird names, long stories about them. It's like walking in a forest after the rain, after a bonfire. I like it, though. I like kind of the elaboration they get with that. None of it being true sometimes. Sometimes it's just, I don't know what the hell they're talking about. But I like that someone went to the effort. And it really is a nice smell. But it's much less aggressive than the Lafroig is. All right, we're closing in on the hour mark. You know what that means? That means I'm going to start getting a little crazy because I've been drinking. But also... because that means I can start to mix these together and make it a little easier for me to drink them. What I will do is I'll take all the tops off, because why not? Put this one back in my wallet. Or not this one, this one. I have too many coin toppers. I'm going to let these aerate a little. This is the one I always keep on me, just in case someone tries to challenge me to a coin duel. Which never happened, but it could. The only time I've actually had this to use it was when I actually met Rex and Daniel, and I said, "How do you whiskey?" Thankfully, we were at a free whiskey tasting. Well, we were at a tasting that I paid a ticket for, so all the whiskeys there were to be sampled for free. So they didn't have to give me anything. There was plenty to go around. It's the only time it's happened, though. Right. The lineup once more for those who are just showing up. Black Bottle is number 1 here. Highland Park 12 is here. Lafroig 10 is here. Lagavulin 16 is here. And we have at the end Ardbeg Oogdal, which is some very specific notes, it seems, at least as far as that app I use is concerned. Now I'll do the back-to-back thing and see what happens. My nose might explode, hopefully not. Yeah. I got like citrus fruit notes off the Black Bottle now. That was unexpected. Although out of all of them, this is probably the most mild, but also the least peated. Oh, this one still has some kind of weird Yeah, the Highland Park 12 has this weird note that I don't like on it. It's almost the kind of a sour / fermenting fruit thing. And I have to remember to say fermenting fruit and not rotting fruit, because fermenting fruit sounds less gross. Same thing, but slightly different. Yeah, Lafroig 10 definitely smells like the charcoal fire out of all these so far. The Lagavulin doesn't smell as bad as I thought it did before. It's making me think of bacon now, which is a good thing. I like bacon. Maybe I just want bacon. I don't know. But after trying all these, I wouldn't be surprised if I want some kind of steak tomorrow or burger or something, because the amount of smoking getting off this is crazy. The Ardbeg is still pretty mild. All in all, the one that's got the most aggressive peat out of all of these, we will say, is probably the Freud 10, which is not surprising because they pretty much pride themselves on doing that to people, especially the poor fools who have never actually had a peated scotch before. It's like, try this. It's happened. It's something that those who like peated scotch do to people who have never had peated scotch. It's not a good thing to do to people unless, well, you want them to suffer, I guess, because, oh gosh, if I had been introduced to peated scotches by just someone saying, here, have a shot of this, and doing that, would not have gone over well. It's much easier to deal with it like this, where you're sipping it slowly. I'm getting chocolate off this one now. That's weird. Put my whole nose in there. It's an interesting experience. I've never been able to figure out exactly how far away I should hold this from my nose. I've gotten to the point where I just rest it on my mustache occasionally. Or I stick my whole nose in there, which is also fun. If the black bottle were a little sweeter, it would remind me of Johnny Walker Black. It's okay. I wouldn't say it's great, but it's a good beginner as far as going into peated anything. A nice peated blended Scotch whiskey is the black bottle, and it will only cost you $25. Pain in my shoulder neck area is still there. God dang. All right, now we're going to have a sip of the Highland Park 12, and I'm going to start mixing these together because that's half the fun as far as I'm concerned. I might sing a song later. We don't know. Still, we're celebrating the Robbie Burns thing, kind of. I don't have any haggis around, unfortunately. Whew. This one still has that weird thing I can't quite pinpoint. It's good to know I get that. At least I'm getting different smells out of it and such. Like, they all smell different, but they all have very similar things going on. But this Highland Park 12 specifically has this kind of astringent. What did I say before? I didn't say acetone. It was something else. Rubbing alcohol or iodine, that kind of thing. It's a weird hospital smell, but there's also something slightly sweet about it. It's weird. It's weirded me out. Yeah, I decided I'm going to mix these two together. Let's see what happens. I'm fairly certain the Highland Park 12 is going to overwhelm the black bottle. But that's technically a good thing because the black bottle isn't doing much for me. Oop. Mixy mix. This also makes it easier to drink. This is actually a normal pour now, isn't it? I want to see, I'm thinking about it, if Lafroig 10 has any of these crazy story notes on their official write-up, if they have anything at all. I would like to try the higher proof Lafroig sometime. I do have a Cardaeus back there somewhere, but I didn't want to use that one tonight. That is a higher proof, I think. Oh, okay. I'm looking at some of these notes. It's like, yeah, okay, that's pretty much what I got. They don't have anything fancy for this one. Like the official finish for Lafroig 10 is lingering. Well, they're not wrong. The nose profile of Lafroig 10 here says smoky, peaty, medicinal, bonfires, iodine, and seaweed. All things we've gone over tonight. Flavor, salt, smoky, bonfire, and peaty. Yeah, it's pretty. And they're not wrong with these. The finish here: peaty, tobacco ash, smoky, and bonfires. The Lafroig 10 does give this very peaty, ashy thing at the end. And this is the Lafroig 10. I'm holding my hand now. Oh, I almost can see the peat smoke coming off of it. I do smell some sweetness to it, though. That's the weirdest part. It's Lafroig 10, and there's peat, definitely, but then there's this hint of something sweet underneath it. I'm not sure what it's making me think of specifically, but I have this idea of some kind of candy, but I don't know what. Maybe. Now, I don't think I've ever had this, and it's not something I would probably like. But I'm thinking of, let's see. If you have dark chocolate, except it's dark chocolate covered raisins, so you have this really aggressive dark chocolate outer coating and then a slightly juicy, sweeter, dried grape thing in the middle, raisin. I can kind of picture that with this as far as the sweet smell. All right, here comes the taste of it. I'm going to mix this in with this one too, just for fun. Whoa. Yep. Lafroig is the aggressive one. Out of these 5, anyway. Oh. Yeah, it's all here. Salt and iodine. Bonfire. Oof. Again, it's certainly making me think of being outdoors near the beach. Basically, it's like someone made a bonfire on the beach with a bunch of seaweed, and there's someone nearby smoking a cigar. That's how much smoke there is right now. Just, all right, let's throw that in with this one, which is the mix of the Black Bottle and the Highland Park. I can still smell the Highland Park in this, even though I mixed it. I'm going to take a sip of this first. Oh, yeah. That's funny. There's that weird, I don't know what it is, but there's that weird kind of sharp thing of the Highland Park that's sticking out. That fruity, astringent, metallic kind of iodine-ish thing, whatever that is. Possibly. I mean, the thing I haven't quite figured out yet is why, with the regular scotches, I say regular, but the non-peated scotches, I will often get a weird funk note. And I've tried to figure out if it's a sherry thing or if it's a malt thing. And I have no idea. I still haven't figured it out. While there are certain blended scotches where I don't get that at all. And there are some that I just really like, which, where is it? Do I still have it nearby? I don't think I do. The Compass Box, the blending stuff they do is absolutely incredible. And I've liked pretty much everything I've tried from them. But there are other ones over here that are, not peated in any way, but I get this weird kind of musty basement cellar thing from them each time I try them. It's a bit weird. It's not bad. Here we go. We're mixing the concoction some more. And the hiccups. Now, I'm almost certain the Lafroig 10 is going to take over whatever's in this glass, because this is the mix of black bottle, Highland Park 12, and now Lefroy 10. In, unspecific proportions, but oh. Well, I know I just poured it in there, so it may take a little minute to settle here, but what I smell still is a Highland Park 12 and that weird astringent note, which I can't quite figure out still. Again, it's equated to fermenting fruits or something. I smell that instead of the peat, like the peat kind of dissipated. That's weird. Anyway, you know what? I'm going to check the other one. One more name brand, which I want to check since I'm sipping on it for the first time in quite a while. Remember how to spell it. There you go. Oh, bugger. I was hoping they would have some fancy write-up for Lagavulin 16, but they don't. I don't know who put the effort into that Ardbeg Udall write-up, but it was fancy. We got a lot of similarities here with the same notes and stuff. Smoky iodine, peaty bonfire. Salt is one we often get, which is understandable, but always feels weird to say. Yeah, peat, smoke, bonfire. That's what most of these get. Iodine as well, which is one that I know. I'm aware of iodine, but it's one of those things that I don't remember the last time I was near it to smell it. So I know what it is, but it's kind of really vague. And I know it certainly does smell kind of medicinal weird. So, yeah. Yeah, it's not much of a write-up. I wish it was. The official taste of Lagavulin, rich dried fruit sweetness with clouds of smoke and strong barley malt flourish. At the back of the mouth, an explosion of pepper. Explosion of pepper? Wow. It smells better now. There's something weird about it at first. I think I'm getting more of an iodine smell off of the Lagavulin, which is not surprising. I like. Oh, and please tell me what you're drinking tonight, if you're drinking anything. I know technically I'm just drinking peated scotches tonight in honor of the upcoming Robert Burns Day, and I didn't want to do it Sunday because Sunday in my head has always been bourbon night, unsurprisingly. And I'll probably be doing sample Sunday, so I'll have some bourbon samples. Speaking of samples, before I forget all about it, and while I let these mingle, shoulder still hurts, by the way, in case anyone's wondering. I don't know if it's my shoulder or my neck. There's like a tendon or something or a muscle here. It's not happy about what I did. I got some samples. My thing fell. Now, I was generously done. Well, how do I put this? I was on ADHD's channel not long ago, last week. Last Friday? Was it last Friday? I don't know. But he was at the Likes, if you know who they are. And Stanley Wagner Jr. was insane enough to donate a large amount. And I got a whole bunch of samples from them in his name, which was glorious. Stuff I have no idea about. I haven't even taken it out of the actual vacuum seal job they did here, which is a great way to keep these, I might add. But we have stuff like Cream of Kentucky 13-year. I'm not even sure what that is. Something rye. Michter's? I'll say Michter's 10-year rye. Old Carter rye batch 5. Most of these are pretty high proof. So there's 3 in this one and 3 in this one. And we got Old Carter Barrel 99 batch something. High proof for these ones. Good God. 122.7. Old Carter American White. Is that what it says? 134.9. Buffalo Trace. Kosher rye. Kosher rye recipe. So yeah. Bunch of samples. Little tiny ones, but definitely awesome because I got 6, which I wasn't expecting. I was expecting 2, maybe. So that's cool. Thankfully, I got these today because the unfortunate truth is that when I opened my door earlier, there was a notice from the apartment complex talking about how people have been stealing other people's stuff from the mailbox area, which is not cool. Thank you, JJ. You should thank the Mash Bill on Instagram because he's the one who donated a stupid amount of money for me to get those. Totally unexpected. Awesome dude. Has kept me sane through a good portion of the last year by sending me schwamples to have. You'd have to check about the other stuff, like the stuff I did last year. Oh. Yeah, I know the likes have some pretty crazy stuff down there. So looking forward to trying those. Definitely stuff I would never have gotten my chance to try otherwise. And it's going to be freaking glorious when I have them. I mean, maybe 1 or 2 of them. Not all of them. That would be a bad idea. Hopefully this Sunday because I go live, as I said, Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time and Sundays at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Donations for anything you want me to try can be sent to here. That's why it's scrolling across the bottom. Because I'm a poor ass, basically. That's why I couldn't donate $100 to ADHD Whiskey's channel, but Stanley did it for me because he's insane. In a good way. Good insane. And now they'll get the samples pretty easily. I need to drink more because I still feel pain, apparently. All right, we're doing the craziest thing possible now. We're mixing the high proof Ardbeg Ugdal. It still smells very soft and light and lovely. And also reminds me of raisins. We're going to mix this in with the originals. I'm going to keep the Lagavulin and 16 separate because that was a sample gift to me. I don't want to mess it up. I want to keep it separate. But I like the idea of mixing all of these together just for funsies. So, maybe people can see actually what I'm doing here. We've added a high proof Scotch whiskey into 1 glass. Madness, I tell you. This feels like something they might do on Robert Burns night. At the end of the night, they're like, oh gosh, what should we do with the Scotch? Well, let's mix it all together. Okay. I don't know why they sound like that from Scotland, but whatever. All right, this is softened out nicely. It doesn't smell as half as aggressive as it did before. I'm almost tempted to do some kind of blending thing sometime because I remember back in the early days of the whiskey vault, before it got so popular, one of the things that happened was called Daniel Week, and you got to try to mix and match stuff together to make a certain something that tastes like something else. I like that idea. Okay. Woo! It's an adventure. So, while the smell isn't too intense, the taste is distinctively peaty now after mixing Black Bottle, Highland Park 12, and Frog 10, and the Ardbeg Ugdal together to form a beast of a peat. A peat monster, you might say. In fact, I don't have it, but I distinctly remember having sips of Peat Monster, and this feels like it's pretty close. The peat's pretty aggressive on the taste now, much like it was with the Lafroig, but all the other ones have kind of toned out, so it's not as bad, it's not as aggressive, except for that peat note. But the ashiness is faded. Like I was getting a real, felt like my mouth turned into an ashtray kind of sensation when I was sipping on the Lafroig 10. Not so much now. Now it's kind of a pepperiness instead of a ashiness, thankfully. Good stuff. Lovely stuff. I got to drink all this whiskey now. God dang it. Poor me. Again, water doesn't do much for this. I know I'm sipping water in between. I do have pretzels. Let's try that. This is going to make crinkly noises. I apologize in advance. That was a noise. There we go. And if anyone's wondering, the song is still stuck in my head. 525,600 minutes. Ah. All right. Ooh. Pretzels are good, by the way. I don't have the fancy stuff for a Robert Burns night dinner. Some pretzels I have to do. I'm not even sure what kind of scotch they have. It's not something I felt like I should have looked up. I just looked up a little bit about Robert Burns Day / night. That's good. Pretzels are glorious. If anyone's wondering. Well, I feel like I should have a big leather chair with this, and I should be near a fire. This is all freaking Nick Offerman's fault, of course. I still don't remember that little stunt he did when he actually was a statue for a while. That was a good one. I like that. It's a little better now. Ooh, wow. I've had a problem getting a nutty note on stuff. And suddenly, on a peated scotch, a Lagavulin 16, of all things, I get a distinct peanut taste. Mind you, after I had a pretzel, so that might have had something to do with it. But that was very bizarre. That's something I've heard numerous times on scotches. People have said, oh, it's nutty. I'm just going, what? I don't think so. I've never gotten that before. And now I get it on a peated scotch after having a pretzel. Unexpected, to say the least. Maybe it's the salt that did it. Or the pretzel itself. I don't know. That was definitely unexpected. But I like it. That was a surprise. I don't know where that came from, honestly. Comparing both of these to each other now. This one's the softer one now. This one's the Lagavulin 16, which I feel like I should take my sweet time with. Yeah, that's a weird thought. I'm smelling this and I'm going, oh, it's like going through a garden. A peat garden. Like these weird musty flowers. Bizarre. What très bizarre. Muy bizarre. There's a weird note at the end of this, though. And now I'm equating it to peanut, which is even more weird because I've never gotten that before. For some reason, I haven't figured out yet, this shoulder neck ache gets progressively worse in the evening. I don't know why. I haven't done anything. It's just kind of progressively more uncomfortable as the day has gone by. It was fine when I woke up, but now it's achy and I'm annoyed. Maybe it's because it got colder out? I don't know. I'm starting to show my age, I think. I'm going to get a beard down to here. It's obnoxious is what it is. There's a thought. It's a terrible thought, but it's a thought. I don't have my phone out, though. Okay. We have about 20, hold on, 30, 20, 30, 30, 29, 74. Let's just say we have time left. Trev doesn't go live for another 40 minutes. So we'll say we have 35-ish minutes left. If we get to the goal tonight, not that there is a goal, there usually is just if someone donates. But if we get $50 tonight to the PayPal, I will do something weird where I will try some of these. These are Pop Rocks, Blue Raz. I'll eat some of these and then I'll take a sip of peated scotch. If anyone feels like that would be entertaining, well, there's the link. I don't know if anyone's going to find it that entertaining, but it's worth a shot. Because I need to figure out what to do with the rest of the evening now that I'm at like just 2 scotches. 2 glorious scotches, I might add. But lovely. The rest of the night is just us drinking stuff, hopefully. And again, let me know what you are drinking on, if you're drinking anything. Could be tea, could be water, could be vodka, could be apple juice. I don't know. That's the fun about this, is I have no idea what you're doing. You can see exactly what I'm doing, basically. The pretzels are really good. I might be a little hungry. I think alcohol makes me hungry. I know it does for my dad, so I'm certain I'm the same. All right. Pretzeled myself here. A little water, and I'm going to sip the mix, as I want to call it. Oh, my neck. That's the problem, is I'm doing this, and I'm just constantly being reminded of this annoying ache in my left shoulder. And this is over a day old, which is why it's so annoying. This thing does not want to stay. Ugh. Ugh. There we go. All right. Okay. Less aggressive now. Thankfully. Oh, yeah. I think I have some of that in one of the samples I just mentioned. I don't know if I've ever had Mixters 10. I feel like I have. I'm not sure. Ugh. Yes. Well, lessons learned from the past there. I drink. So far, my Fridays have been I drink during a stream, so I have plenty of drink, clearly. But I do it over 2 hours, so it's as slow as possible. And then with the rest of the streams that are, Trev and ADHD Whiskey tonight, that's where I just kind of continue drinking what I poured and maybe have one later in the evening. Maybe. But right now, I'm kind of going, like the one I did, how was it, 2 weeks ago? Technically, it was last year, probably, where I had a bunch of different bourbons and I mixed them all together. And I had this honking thing. Glorious, but it took me a long time to drink that. I drank it in one evening, but it was over the course of 6 hours, I think. Gotta be careful with this stuff. Whiskey is no joke. Even though it's very good, it's also a lot, especially when you mix them all together like I just did. I have, 3 43% and then 154%, was it? All mixed together? Sweet. So what does that make that? I have no idea. 50-ish, maybe? Who knows? It's pretty good, though, considering it's just this random blend. I like. Again, I have to be a certain kind of mood to drink peated scotches. Ooh, Bardstown. I've heard of the Bardstown. I haven't seen it anywhere around here, but I know it exists. Mostly thanks to ADHD Whiskey and his goings-ons. What I will do, see if I can find more poems by old what's-his-face. Since I did one earlier, I think I did one when no one was here. Kind of did it on purpose because then no one would hear me do my horrible Scottish accent. I have to find one, though. I don't know what any of them are. And they're all weird, I'm sure. I know, I think, certainly not last year, but the year before, I think I did something about this Robbie Burns night thing, which is Monday, by the way. It's not tonight, it's Monday. But I'm doing it early because I won't be doing any Scottish stuff on Sunday because Sunday is its bourbon night, technically, in my brain. Well, that one looks long. Looks like a song, actually. The Rantin' Rovin' Robin. Rantin' Rovin' Robin. Ugh. Yeah, the curse of being on WhiskyTube and knowing so many WhiskyTubers is that you hear a lot about whiskeys, and unfortunately, a lot of the time, either they're very expensive or not in your area. Oh, well. See if I can say this without tripping over my tongue, because I've had so much scotch. Maybe that's part of the point, because by the look of this, it was not easy to say. And I've never read this before, which makes it even more interesting. There was a lad, was born in Kyle. What a day, or what a style. I doubt it's hardly worth the while to be so nice with Robin. I think that's his chorus. Robin was a roving boy, rantin' rovin', rantin' rovin'. Robin was a roving boy, rantin' rovin', Robin. No, Robin was something so common in Scotland. Our monarch's hindmost years but ane was 25 days began. 'Twas then a blast of January wind blew himself in on Robin. Robin was a roving boy, Robin was a roving, rantin' rovin', Robin was a roving boy, rantin' rovin', Robin. The gossip kicked in his loof, 'Twas show will live we see the proof. This way boy will be Nick Oof. I think we call him Robin. Robin was a roving boy. I'm not going to do it every time. Hill has misfortune great and small, but I heart bound them all. He'll be a credit to us all. We'll be proud o' Robin. Robin was a roving boy. I can see this being some kind of song. But sure as three times three but sure as 3 times 3 make 9. I see be like score and line. This chap will dear you like our kin. Kin? So leaves me on the Robin. Good faith, quo Scotch I doubt you gar, the bonny lass lie apart. But 24 yeah my he war, so blessing on the Robin. I'll say it one more time. Robin was a roving boy, rantin' rovin', rantin' rovin'. Robin was a roving boy, rantin' rovin', Robin. Blah. And that's a Scottish poem, or song, or ditty by Robert Burns. You're welcome. That was hard. I think the Scotch made it a little easier, but some of the words they don't even know how to pronounce. It's just, what was that? I don't know. All right. More Scotch. Oop. Words. It's a bit weird how you have to wait for, well, it's not weird, but it's an interesting part of whiskey, we'll say, where you have to wait for it to open up occasionally. Feels bad, man. That's why I feel bad. Well, I don't feel bad, but oftentimes I'll do a review and I'll wonder, will it taste different later? Like with this one specifically, I'm thinking of the Highland Park 12. I seem to think I liked it a lot back like a year ago. But now that it's been sitting in the bottle with that much left, it doesn't taste quite the same. It tastes a little different. A little bit peculiar, I will say. Like a Willen 16, if anyone's wondering. The problem with peated scotch is that I don't drink these quickly. Like with the bourbon, I can drink that, relatively quickly within an hour. But with a peated scotch, it seems like it takes a long time. A very long time. I wish I knew a Scottish ditty, but I don't. Other than what I think is Robin was a roving boy. Don't know how that goes, though. I'd say Robbie Burns Day is an interesting but bizarre holiday for the Scots, because they have a literal procession for the haggis. So they actually have a line of people with bagpipes and kilts and everything presenting haggis. It's a bit peculiar. Interesting, but peculiar. I'm pretty sure it's just a night for all the boys to get together, have some haggis, have a bunch of whiskey, Scotch whiskey, of course, and it's kind of an excuse for them to just get slammered, I think, which is fine. I mean, it feels like it's almost a Scottish St. Patrick's Day, almost, except with a lot more pomp and circumstance and poetry and that kind of madness. And I know there's a lot of food as well, other than it just being haggis. There seems to be a lot of stuff going on. Ugh. Oh, man. So you can order stuff? What the heck? I got a weird song stuck in my head now. Tooralura, tooralura. I think that's Irish. I don't know. I don't even know what kind of song that is. Why is it the more whiskey I drink, the more the pain in my shoulder becomes apparent? I don't like that. I disapprove, to say the very least. I'm going to double check something. Like most of you already know that Trev goes live in half an hour. I don't need to set a reminder. And he's got all kinds of bourbons he's going to drink tonight. Barrel proof battle. Oh, that should be interesting, I think. We shall see. I'm looking forward to it. Ugh. I'm distracted by the pain in my shoulder. Irish Lullaby. Okay, thank you, Mom. I had no idea what that was. Spacing out. Oh, I guess I should update on video officially stuff I got recently. Oh, God. I think I did on Instagram. Instagram's the easiest way to see what has been done recently. So is Twitter. Kind of my, Twitter is pretty much where I vent, to be honest. But we have, was it 2 or 3 bottles that I got recently? I got the High West Double Rye. Clang. Which would be interesting to review because I don't think I ever did. I actually finished a bottle of it, but I didn't review it. At least I don't think I did. Maybe I did. But I know I liked it. So I bought another one. And I have this other one. Now this one's important because I didn't think I was going to find it again. Four Roses Single Barrel. As you can see, the color on this thing is freaking glorious. But I thought all the single barrels for this past year, at least, were gone. Which is a welcome. Hello. Welcome to our peated Scotch Madness. Good to have you, sir. But this was the last one on the shelf. So I grabbed it because I thought these were going to be gone. And thanks to the amazing Jason Busey, I was able to actually also get a bottle of Redbreast 12, which is hiding over here, and I don't want to pull it out of there because I'm going to hurt my shoulder if I do. I think. Let's try. And this is their new box. But I have said many times I really enjoy Redbreast 12. Wish I could find the cast strength. They have a cast strength out now, but it's a little weird. Ow. The cast strength I saw at the store was $109, which seems a little sketchy to me because it just said, what is it, the new one? I think it says small batch on it. It's kind of weird. I don't know what they're doing. I don't know. Redbreast is, they have things going on with their cast strength. It's freaking me out a little. I'm going to double check now. Whoops, where'd it go? Redbreast 12. Whoops. I think Redbreast 12 cast strength and Redbreast. Oh, is that it? Nope. All right, what's been bothering me? The word small batch. That's what I saw when I went to the liquor store last Tuesday. Is I saw a bottle of Redbreast. And I don't think I saw a 12 on it, which is the part that bothered me slightly. It did say small batch on it, which I think some distilleries have been doing lately. That one says 12-year-old cask. Bevmo. What the heck is Bevmo? Ugh. Whatever it is, I hate it. Or maybe it always was small batch. I don't know. Maybe I'm just having issues with their new labeling. I don't know. It's fine. I still like Redbreast 12 cask strength, but I haven't had it in too long. Too long, I tell you. Oop. Pretzel first. Letting these open up, as it were. Ow. One problem with doing flights like this is it's so much whiskey. And my body is like, what are you doing? You're barely functional as it is, and then you decide to have this much scotch. What the hell is wrong with you? That's what everyone's trying to figure out, dude. I don't even know, so it's fine. Maybe that's part of the problem. I just realized when I drank my water, tilted it up, sharp pain through this shoulder for no reason. Ugh, I don't have the time for it. No the patience. Lagavulin 16, everyone. Cheers to you. To you and yours, as it were. That's the weirdest thing. The Lagavulin comes in a wave. It gets salty and peaty after the fact. It's like I take a sip, and then there's a moment of just drinking it, and then there's this weird wave of peat and salt and strangeness. I don't understand this at all. It's good, but it's weird. I don't know if I'd want to buy a bottle of Lagavulin 16 now. I've had this sample because it feels a bit weird. I think I'm still the type who likes Highland stuff more, or at least freaking I know I like Oban 14, so I'm good there. That seems to be the level of peat I like. Anything else a little higher is more distracting, maybe is the word. I don't dislike peat by any means, but I think for my own whiskey experience, I like it to be something that's not simple, it's enjoyable and not demanding too much of my attention. Where when you have a peated scotch, you take a sip, immediately you're thinking about peat, and there's very little else you're thinking about, which some people would call distracting, unless you were doing what I'm doing right now and you're trying to deep dive into some of these peated scotches, sort of, which is part of the reason for it, other than to just mix it all together like I did with this one. It smells fruity now and not so peaty. I have a feeling the taste is going to be the same, though. No, it's not. It's less aggressive now. Oh, also, if I haven't said it before, make sure to like and subscribe and comment and all that stuff. Everyone's commenting right now. Oh, wrong side. We're there. Which is good. But the YouTube overlords like the likes, as it were. Ugh. This is a distraction. Poking at it doesn't help. Oh, gosh. I wonder if they have any Robert Burns songs, other than the one I just did, which felt like a song. That's the one problem with doing this. It's like, I'm going to have scotch for Robert Burns tonight. And I'm just like, well, I know very little about Robert Burns tonight other than there's scotch and haggis and madness. The menu, David, is we had Black Bottle, and we had Highland Park 12, and we had Lefroy 10, which is right here. Was that 3? Then we have a Lagavulin 16 sample that was donated to the channel. And then we have the final one, which is the Ardbeg Ugadal. Glorious stuff that it is. I'll do that. But those are the peated scotches we had this evening. And we have mixed all of them but the Lagavulin into this glass. And it tastes pretty good, actually. Having the Lagavulin separately. I'm trying to get used to it, to be honest. And of course, that was much more. That was a full pour out of it. Certainly making me think of a barbecue, which is good. But also, it's going to make me hungry, which is bad. I don't want to be hungry at 8 o'clock at night when I'm not about to go anywhere because it's cold out. So, ow. I could go to Friendly's or Denny's. Actually, I think Denny's is closed. Can't do any of that right now. What I am trying to think about is what I should do for Sunday when we get to the bourbons again. Because as I said, I seem to have a preference for bourbons these days. If only because of the cost. Like I like Irish whiskey. I like Scotch whiskey, but I have to be in a certain state of mind to have them, it seems. While with bourbons, since they're just cheaper and easier to acquire, I tend to go for those. Like I didn't mention that I bought this bottle over here. The classic Evan Williams. Bottle and Bond, under proof. The funny thing is I found I like this better without ice. I had been adding it with an ice ball for a while, and I got this weird kind of, I want to say a woody note, but there was something specifically I didn't like when I was adding ice to it, / water mostly. I gave it this weird note I didn't like, but now that I've been sipping it without, I seem to like it much more. It's a little harder to drink because it is 100 proof, but I also like Wild Turkey 101, which is even higher proof. But I'd been using that with ice, but I've been having those without ice simply because it's been so cold. It's been so cold here lately. Not so bad today, but if you're in the New England area, it's been, it's probably around 32 degrees Fahrenheit right now. Close to that. I have my phone set to Celsius just to confuse me. So it's 2 degrees Celsius at, which is probably around 38 degrees Fahrenheit, maybe 40. Don't know. But all in all, it's chilly out. I can feel it in my bones almost. I don't have the heat on either. That doesn't help. But I have plenty of whiskey to keep me warm, as they say, which is glorious. Glorious, I tell you. I'm going to figure out where to put these scotches now. That's the one problem I have with doing a flight is I have to take all the scotches or take all the bottles down, and then I have to put them back and remember where they were. And I don't remember quite where all these were. I do have my tubes over here. This is the one that I'm curious about. Oh. One of the little Lefroy things I was thinking about, they actually have it on the top here. Like kissing a mermaid that had barbecue for dinner. Apparently that's how someone decided Lefroy tasted or smelled. They're not wrong. Granted, I've never met a mermaid. And I've certainly never met a mermaid that had barbecue. What? What? Ow. That's a tragedy. Why the heck would they do that? I'll never understand the rules of other places. Hell, I don't even understand the rules here. But that sucks. You gotta like smuggle bourbon over the border, or over the water, over the pond even. I'm trying to think, what is Buffalo Trace is 40%. What is Buffalo Trace over here? I'd assume 43. And that's something I like about it's one of those little things I like about certain bourbons or whiskeys in general is that there are, they're a little higher proof, like 45%, 43%. That's usually a happy place for me. I tend to prefer 50 plus because a raging alcoholic. No, because that's just what I've gotten used to, I think, over time. So it would suck to have it at 40% only. I can understand why that would be frustrating over there on the other side of the pond. But I didn't know that. I didn't know that until now. Before I get back in this little bottle, now to the odd big. I'm going to keep the, I had the Highland Park in a box. Like the box is really nice, actually. If you've never seen it, it looks like this. It's got orange on the inside. It's got a little bit of thing here. Join our inner circle. No, I won't do that. Sounds like a cult. But it's a nice box. The only thing is I've had this for so long that I need to finish it. Oh, it's got some notes on the back. Aromatic smoky peat and the flowers of sweet heather honey and rich fruit cake. Smooth, full, and rounded. It's a whiskey that truly stands apart. Well, certainly good. Look at that. Yeah, thank you, JJ. I wasn't certain. I can't. I'm one of those few whiskey tubers who's like, let me check the bottle. I have it right here. I do not have any Buffalo Trace on the shelf right now. I could, and I should, but I don't, because I'm pretty sure I would drink it all very quickly. Oh, Oban. Welcome, Whiskey Samurai. We were talking about Oban 14? I think it was Oban 14 earlier. At least that's the one that's available easily to me when I go to a restaurant/bar that's nearby. And I got a really decent pour of that a little while ago. Like that. It was a little bit much to finish my steak with, but it was glorious. Ugh. We're slowly winding down the evening. I have poured my peated scotches. I have mixed a bunch of them together into here. Lovely. But Trev Wilson goes live in about 15 minutes or so. So I'm going to be running for about 10 more minutes. And I did say I would have, I would sip some peated scotch after having some Pop Rocks if we got a donation of $50. We haven't yet, thankfully, because that sounds highly unpleasant to me. But KIllco runs in your support, as I always say. I hate saying it. I don't know what it is about the society we were brought up in, but to perform or interact with others on this kind of level and ask for financial assistance because of it is something people should feel like they can do without feeling bad about it. But we've been brought up in a very, very weird society where I unfortunately should be working 40 hours a week instead and spending as little time where I live as possible and paying most of my check to live here. I don't know, man. That seems kind of messed up. I'd rather do this and somehow make money. That's the whole reason we're doing this for me anyway. Unlike other whiskey tubers, I don't have a day job. Sure, this is it, including the fact that I still have to get to the monetization, whatever that is. It's a theme. People have been doing it past year. The ones who have gotten monetized recently are Whiskey Central, Hot Butter Rolls, Trev Wilson, who again is going live soon, like 10 minutes, whatever. But yeah, it's a climb. And you have to do a lot of weird stuff to get there sometimes, which I haven't figured it out yet. I haven't figured out the trick. I don't think there's a trick. I think there's something, but I don't know what. And I'm happy to just spend time with the people who like to be here, chit chat over whiskey, sample different whiskeys all at once. It's lovely. It makes the evenings a little more enjoyable, especially Fridays. Everyone wants to have a drink a little earlier, so that's why I like kind of going a little live, a little earlier. Doing strange stuff like mixing a whole bunch of scotches together. Didn't turn out bad, thankfully. Wow. A Demon Thunder. Howdy. You're late, but howdy. We're going to be stopping the stream in about 5 minutes, which I hate saying, but I don't like running into other people's time. Or maybe I'll run for 2 hours. I mean, you're all just getting here. We're having a lovely time. What is this? I talk about a dog named Shorty on here. And the Ardbeg Committee. What the heck? We've been mixing peated scotches tonight for all of you showing up. And I didn't sing, but I said a little ditty earlier for Robert Burns. If you go back, if you rewatch any of this. No, man. No working loud. It's Friday. The one I started the evening out with before people showed up, I think, was a red, red rose or something like that. Love is like a red, red rose. Something along those lines. He was good. I'd never said it before. I didn't even know he did the red, red rose thing, but he did. Back in the box, damn you. I'll hit Ardbeg, yeah. Surprisingly, this was the least aggressive one, other than the some of the cheaper stuff. But I did get raisins / grape notes out of it because of the ex-sherry barrels, apparently. The only problem with the evening is my shoulder's still being weird, and for whatever reason, it's been getting more and more distracting as the evening's gone along. And this happened yesterday as well, which is annoying, because this is like that thing you can't go to the doctor for because it's not going to tell you to do anything. I do have some icy hot stuff that I can put on it. But good gosh, this is annoying. It's like a strained muscle, I think. And I want to tell myself the alcohol will make the pain go away, but so far it's still there. It's not directly painful, but it's just a dull ache. It's taking my attention away from what I'm doing. It's unpleasant. It's the Oogdal. Oogdal. Oh, can't see it. Oogdal. 54 point something something. As I said earlier, 54.2. So it's up there. It's good stuff, I gotta say. I enjoy it. But we mixed them all together. We mixed the Oogdal, the Black Bottle, the Highland Park, and the Freud 10 all into one glass. And thankfully, the glass didn't explode. It smells really nice, actually, for a peated scotch. It's very good. I like. Marshall, hello. It is. I got this yesterday after having not gone to a barber of any sort for an entire year because COVID. I did take Advil this morning, Ma. I'll probably take it. If it gets bad, I'll take one later tonight. I don't like to mix Advil and alcohol, so I'll have to wait till the effects dissipate. But yes, Marshall, I did get my haircut finally. Took a full year until I finally got sick of it once it was touching the back of my neck. And there was still that general paranoia of going out to a barbershop because, again, the pandemic hasn't ended, unfortunately. It's slightly subdued a little bit. We've gotten kind of tired of it, unfortunately, and people are just used to wearing masks. But I'm terrified to go anywhere in general. But it feels better. Like I still keep doing this and thinking I'm going to have hair there, which I don't. Yeah, I was getting to that point where I was looking at, I trimmed my beard a little here, or my goatee, or whatever you want to call it. And I was looking at it being like, I could just shave all this hair off. And once I started realizing I was thinking that, I was like, all right, I should just get a regular haircut, finally. And I did. Unfortunately, I couldn't do the whole goatee / mustache thing, which I wanted to do. I've been wanting to do at this place that's nearby, but I just didn't feel comfortable taking my mask off yet. I'd rather not do that if I don't have to. I don't even like going to restaurants right now because you take your mask off. It's like, disease is everywhere. I can't. Sucks. But oh well, whatever. We will get back to the time where we can go to restaurants without masks on eventually, but I don't think that'll be until, I want to say autumn, if I'm being honest. Unless the vaccine gets punched out a lot sooner. I don't think it's going to be out until maybe spring. That's true, Ma. It's also very cold here. Even this was a little shorter than I wanted. Oh, I clicked on it by accident. Oh, no. The curse of the drive-through. How did that happen? Good gruff. Good gruff. Just like good grief, but without the word grief. All right. 5 minutes, less than 5 minutes left till the Drinkstream ends. I still have, I have to figure out a way to do these sample slash these flights of whiskey without feeling completely drained by the end, because it takes me about an hour-ish to get through them. But that's when I do. This time I did 5, and that's a lot because I definitely can't finish all of it. I can't finish that in 2 hours. It's madness. Marshall, I hope you get your Wendy's soon, because that's a bit too long to be sitting in a drive-thru, I would say. Makes me terrified to go to any drive-thru now. I'm checking something. I always get paranoid about getting donations when I'm not looking at my phone. It happened once with Jason Busey, where he donated something, and for whatever reason I didn't see it, and I felt bad. But he does that. He's like a sniper sometimes. He just comes in and donates and disappears. Maybe it'll taste all the sweeter when you get it. Who knows? Let's hope it doesn't taste worse. I can go for some French fries. The problem is once the weekend shows up, I don't want to go out at all. Like, that's been my thing for a long time. Is the idea for me is that during the day, during the week, there are certain time frames I'll go out. So there's maybe 10 till 11:30, and then there's, I say 1 p.m. to 4 p.m., but that depends if it's summer or if it's a school year or school time, because buses. Then there's the night, which I prefer the most. And then there's the weekends, which I don't like at all, because people are out tenfold during the weekend because they've been working all week, at least the normal jobs, as it were. So I don't like being out in public that much, unless it's a whiskey event. But even then, one of the few whiskey events I ever went to was pretty intense, and it was a lot of people. And I honestly didn't sip that much whiskey. I had some for 2 tastings, which I believe one of them was Irish whiskey, which was pretty good. And then there was another one. I'm blanking out on what it was, though. I think it was, I honestly don't remember what it was. That's bothersome. But I had more whiskey doing the sample things instead of actually doing the touring and running around. I got one of those. Owls. Yeah, I'm a night owl, to say the least. I don't want to be sometimes. Like the past 2 nights at least, this ache in my arm has kept me awake somehow. And I haven't been able to sleep anyway, so I'll wake up at 2 or 3, and then I'll be stuck awake until about 6 a.m., even though I'm trying to get to sleep the whole time. Like today, and probably like tonight. We'll see. It's going to be a late night. I know Trev's going live in moments, minutes, seconds even. And then ADHD Whiskey comes on. Although I don't know where he's going to be this time. I think he's still in Florida. So we will see. Thank you all for coming, though. I hate to end, as always. But I can only run for about 2 hours, and then my energy drops seriously. And also, having this amount of whiskey will drain anyone of their ability to function. But I will be going live again this Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We will be having whiskey samples, probably. 4 Roses is so good. Can't wait to have it. I'll try the icy stuff, icy hot stuff first, and we'll see. Cheers to all of you. Thank you for showing up. Come on back on Sunday. We'll be having samples. I'm not sure how many, but we'll be having samples. Trev is going live next. Trev Wilson, if you don't know who that is, well, just look up his name. It'll show up. It will. Richie, it'll go away soon. But it's just going to be one of those annoyances for a little while, it seems. Till next time, live long and prosper. Don't forget to be awesome. And as always, Sláinte to you all.